Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Today will mark the third day of Soapboxes. Today will mark the third day of Soapboxes. Okay, so I'm Meenakshi Anup, your election commissioner. Before starting, I would like to once again announce our campaign launch, Operation 100 Every Vote Matters. It is an initiative by the Student Election Commission to basically ensure 100% voter turnout for students' general elections. This is kind of for setting a precedent for the upcoming general elections as well, a model. So, yes, we will now move on to our first post for today. So we will now move on to our first soapbox for today, Cultural Affairs Secretary Lit. We have our candidates here. So I'll introduce the candidates here. We have Mr. Sai Chakri, we have Akash, and we have Mahesh. We have Mahesh. So now I'll brief you about the soapbox guidelines. Now the soapbox will begin with opening presentations by all three candidates. They can present for about 7 to 8 minutes. After which we will move on to a cross-questioning kind of stage where all the candidates can ask other candidates 3 questions and 2 follow-ups in total. After that, we will move on to the executive council members and the spheres, heads and cores. After that, we will move on to the general students. Okay, so I would like to announce, okay, so
first and second position together. Fine. First. Okay.
So our first candidate to present today will be Mahesh. I leave the stage to Mahesh.
So, good evening everyone. How is the Josh? So, I'm Mahesh Rajpurohit, a third year undergraduate student in the Department of Civil Engineering. And you may not believe that I'm standing for the post of Cultural Affairs Secretary, literally, for the tenure 2024 and 2025. When I first applied for this post, I did as a joke. People have begun talking elections a bit seriously. Yeah, some more clapping, please. I don't think something as temporary as elections. Because elections are enough to break ties, friendships. And you all know, I didn't prepare for this post. I didn't take any funds from the core and EC members. Hence, my manifesto, every year, candidate come to you with a manifesto that is largely copied or borrowed, full of filler points, disguised with good English. Every year they come to you. Sorry. They come to you with a feasibility report that is copied from another candidate and briefly relevant with their manifesto points. Thus, I wrote a manifesto full of filler with one final dhamaka offer about bringing Arijit Singh in Sarang 2025. The day I filed my nomination, people came to me offering deals to back off. The day after my name came in the valid nomination list, people called my friends asking me to back off in return to post in another sphere. Juniors are being threatened, positions are being offered or withdrawn, and everything boils down to deal that some random senior makes some other deals. Which is why I stand before you without my presentation, without any dadas and gods. Just me, hands open, I stand before you, not a candidate, but a representation of student frustration with instant elections. I stand before you as a voice against this disgusting mockery of democracy. If I win, I'll work with all of you to create an actual action plan for the next year, not just some manifesto that might or might not be followed. Every vote for me is a vote against nepotism. Every vote for me is a vote against ragging. Every vote for me is a vote for better, fairer tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you. And best wishes to Akash and Sai Chakri. Thank you.
We can now move on to the next candidate, Mr. Sai Chakri.
Good evening, guys. This is Mothbul Secretary, a third year undergraduate student from the Electrical Department, contesting for the post of Culture Affairs Secretary Literary. So, my vision is to continuous learning culture and unified Sangam experience, lasting impact and tailored engagement. So let's go to my manifesto points. So I am putting Culture Summer School to the GSB and open to India. So where the people can join and learn the art forms and literary forms. So I am putting the Cult Chronicle, where the annual magazine showcase will be going on while April for the academic year. I am also putting the interdepartmental culture fest for department wise, taking help of the association from the department wise. For the PG guys, I am collaborating with the RSG and doing the PG events overall the semester, overall the academic year. So I am aiming for LITSAC as a enhance the social connections, community building, and personal growth opportunities and memorable experience. So I am putting LITSAC webpage, where the events and the LITSAC winners will be announced in the LITSAC webpage. I also giving the LITSAC goodies to the event winners, So the participation will be more when they come to the next events. So for internet and contingent, I am introducing the trophy cabinets in the culture space, where we can showcase the trophy cabinets there. So I am putting the separate Instagram page for the contingent people, so we can show them what they are doing in the events they are going. And also putting the felicitation for event for the contingent people when they came for after the inter-8 and everything. And also organizing the culture meetups to the nearest college, to the nearest Chennai college, where can the contingency will be improved. So at last, Sarang. I am putting Sarang tokens. I am giving the immediate goodies to the Sarang events and workshops. So by next year it will be more. So I am putting for the Sarang tour and Sarang walk by taking the help of the LTS club. So they can roam around Sarang for the people coming from the outside. So I am mostly focusing on the PR for the perks of and game perks for the ambassadors, where the participation in the Sarang will be more. So I want to get the knowledge from all the people from the Sarang sphere. So I am putting the case study for the core aspirants, where I can get the knowledge from all the core aspirants. So I am from the safety and security team. I worked as a super coordinator in Sarang 23 and coordinator in the Sarang 23. So I was the current events coordinator in the Electric Engineering Association, and also strategist in the PMT. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Now we'll move on to Akash.
Check. Hello everybody. I'm Akash, a third year undergrad from Civil Department, contesting for the position of Cultural Affairs Secretary, Literary. My vision for my tenure is Sangam for the people, restructuring and rebuilding. One contingent, many voices, fostering inclusivity and unity, celebrating Sarang's legacy, sustaining heritage, and at last, breaking barriers, making a social impact. Moving to my manifesto is a fivefold. Firstly, Sangam, ethnic calendar, a collaboration of Sabhas and Samitis and Sangam clubs to showcase ethnic festivals. Restructuring Sangam, streamlining Sangam and Sarang operations through defined segmentation. Anime Fest, embracing the vibrant anime culture through screening, Japanese cuisine stalls, merchandise sales, and many more. Litsock Power Play, introducing of Power Play season in Litsock to promote participation through bonus points. PG Contingent Immersion Program, increase PG inclusion and club introductions in PG Freshie Immersion Program. That was my Sangam part, guys. Coming to Sarang, we have Sarang After Hours, post-pro shows, movie screenings, entertainment zones, gaming arena, to make Sarang a 24/7 event. Sarang Expo, providing a platform to emerging authors and artists to showcase their art and encourage the literature in INSTI. Sarang Premier League, 2-month-long league to foster team bonding among verticals and cultivating a sense of belonging in Sarang team. Sarang Rewind, specific tailored reels for alums at AGMs, reunions and chapter meets to strengthen the connection and boost connectivity. Coming to culturals, I have something special for you guys. Cultural internships. Introducing cultural internships on a separate platform for free for you guys. Cultural time capsule, forging connections between past and present members by preserving club memories, reviving roots. Nova events throughout the semester in collaboration with Ministry of Arts, Tourism and Culture. INSTI Corner, going above and beyond for not just students but also to the faculties. Cult XP, increased award experience points, the XP, to celebrate students' favor and maintaining a running leaderboard in INSTI Space app. Contingent. So, in sports you might have heard of main camps, right? So something similar to that we have in culturals. I'm introducing to this point. So cultural camps, dedicated camp with display and performances to inculcate team bonding in addition to a 5-day mess. Contingent corpus, introducing an alumni corpus to enrich club experiences and supporting contingent and cultural activities. Contingent newsletter, newsletter with the latest contingent activities and BTS of the contingent practices. I'm sure it's very much enthusiastic, bro. Last but not the least, social impact. Alternative SAC show Empower, a zero-budget professional shows featuring marginalized artists to challenge the stereotypes and fostering self-expression. Sarang NGO, instituting an NGO under Sarang to secure CSR funds for our social impact initiatives under the NGO while also earning local trust. So these were just my initiatives, guys. Let me tell about my credentials. So I am the production coordinator of Sarang 2024. I am the Ganga Literary Secretary. and the content strategist of Cultural Outreach Committee. I was a deputy coordinator of ProChoice 2023. I was also an events coordinator of CEA. I was also a sponsor and PR coordinator of CEA. I think these are enough for today. So, at last, I just want to say you guys, 12th March is the polling date. You've seen the presentation of all three of us. Please do vote wisely. Thank you. Cultures to the sky.
So hello everyone. Actually I'm not well, so I'll be leaving the soapbox. You can DM me for any doubt, for any clarification. Thank you. Thank you everyone.
So, our next round is the cross-questioning round, but before that, I would like to take around 5 minutes to ask you guys about some questions related to the Constitution. Okay, so, yeah. Let's begin with, do you know what the POR Charter is? Okay.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. PR Charter describes, it is given by SECC, Student Ethics and Constitutional Commission. So, I recently got a mail about PR Charter which states all the PRs and who decides that and who has equal votes about who choosing the PRs.
Anything to add? So, to you, do you think the POR Charter is above the rule book or the rule book is above the POR Charter? If the POR Charter that is circulated by us, which is a compiled version of all the rule books, is it above the sphere's rule books or whether the rule book is above the POR Charter?
Rule is about the PR Charter.
You're right. So next question to you. What are the 4 disciplinary committees?
Okay. Hostel disciplinary committees, academic disciplinary committee, CCASH, and I'm not aware of the 4th one actually.
Do you want to add?
I think the CK also POSH, I think. POSH.
So we have Hostel Disciplinary Committee, Institute Disciplinary Committee, Disciplinary and Welfare Committee, and CCASH. Okay, so tell me what is the procedure for removing a student from your sphere? It might be specified in your rule book, right? We'll go with you first.
So if we have to remove, like we have to inform the culture secretary and Kallat. So then we get information to remove the particular person.
Can you tell me the 3 main grounds for removing a person?
Gross misconduct, I mean the CCASH, etc. Not working like properly, I mean the whatever the first we announced like they're not working efficiently, and financial misappropriations. Thank you.
Can both of you name one fundamental freedom that is listed in the student's constitution?
They can participate in any event they want.
I feel the freedom of speech is there in the...
I'll repeat what the fundamental freedoms are for everyone's benefit. So first one is of thought, opinion, expression, belief, faith and worship. Second is to assemble and protest peacefully. Third is to form associations and student organizations. And last one is to move freely within the campus. Now we will move on to the cross-questioning round. So each candidate can ask 3 questions to the other candidate and they have a total of 2 follow-ups. Okay? Yes. Total of 2 follow-ups, total of 3 questions and total of 2 follow-ups. You can decide when to ask your follow-up. Okay? So fine. So Sai will be going first.
So my first question is like about the sarang restructure. So you are putting 2 sangam beds and 2 sarang gates. So 2 sangam beds and 2 sarang gates actually you are putting. So under that you are putting 7 verticals and 15 super coordinates, right? So for sangam for sarang actually we have for every club we have 2 conveners. So that too we are trying hard to do events actually. So now we are putting two conveners or 2 super cards for the 3-4 clubs. How will you manage the sarang?
Hi Chakri. So firstly, it's not sarang restructuring, it's sangam restructuring. So you wanted to know about things in sarang, teams under sarang. So under sarang, I have like 7 verticals: literary arts, speaking arts, performing arts, musical arts, digital arts, creative arts, and the 7th one is non-competitive events, NCE. So I have given 15 super cards for each of them. Not each of them, 15 super cards in total. And we have approximately 150 events right now. And in my vision, I want 300 events next year. And I'm 100% sure that my team can bring this up. I have the feasibility from ex-events core Akshat Ram, Cultural Affairs Secretaries, Shriya Janna, and contingent heads also.
How will you manage the work actually? Actually, I didn't ask before. How will you manage the work? No, actually, my first question is that thing. So, what is the first question, right? Okay. So, actually, my question is how will you manage the work? So, for 2 supercards, how will you manage the 3-4 clubs at a time? Now we have for each club we have some 2 conveners, right? How will you manage the work in Sangam or Sarang? So that's my question.
So I think you didn't understand basically. I was a content strategist in Cultural Outreach Committee, which looks after the 17 clubs content in Sangam Instagram account. So I know how the clubs work, especially during the Sangam and Sarang. So even the ex-events core Akshatram has seen the Sarang once completely and not like half tenure. He has a complete tenure. So, okay, for example, I'll give you NCE. In total, I have 15 super cards, right? In NCE, I have like 3 super cards. Under 3 super cards, I'll have like around 8 to 10 cards. And under 8 to 10 cards, I'll have 8 to 10 walls, which is the current team structure. So I'm currently, okay, let me tell you in basic terms. Before restructuring, Sarang events team was having 200 members. After restructuring, I'm having 200 events team members. So I can easily manage it.
Yeah, I would like to specify once again, you have 2 minutes to answer direct questions and 45 seconds for follow-up. Next time onwards, I will take the mic.
So my second question is about your point in manifesto, Litsak power play. So the thing is like some hostels have the less points in the Litsak leaderboard. If you come to the even semester, so we are putting the increasing points in from odd semester, right? How will you ensure that these hostels which are the low points, they'll come they will come and participate in the event semester. Even though you are putting 1.5 into 1.5, right? You are putting 1.5 for power play. So I will ensure that again that which are the hostels have low points, they will come in event semester. Show the participation in the lit sub.
So, let me tell you, I was the Ganga Literary Secretary. I know how the Litsoc works. So, when you tell me like how the power play season works, okay, let me tell you in basic terms. So, after Queen of Sheba, there's a dip in like participation from the hostels. So, what I proposed in my manifesto is, we'll make 2 phases. One phase, 10 events, and if any hostel like wins or is in placing position, first, second, third post, they'll have like 1.5x points in the second phase. So this phase can be during odd sem or even sem. In my feasibility, I've written for odd sem because the Queen of Sheba, the participation is very less. We can copy that to the even sem also if we have positive response.
Follow up. So you're not telling how will increase the participation for even semester properly. So I'm saying like what are the hostels like which are lagging behind the points. I will ensure that they'll come for the Litsoc events in the event semester. So that is my follow up.
Okay, let me explain to you again in 45 seconds. So, Hostel A, Hostel B. Hostel A is in first place, Hostel B is in place. I mean, 7th place. Even sem comes, Hostel A is in first place, Hostel B is in 7th place. Even sem comes, phase 1 comes. Hostel B sees that all the, in phase 1, if I participate in all the events and win at least 3, I'll get 1.5x in phase 2. So then they'll know that I can get in top phase, I can win the Litsoc. So that's why they have more enthused to participate in phase 1 and win at least 3 of them and then get 1.5x and win in the leaderboard and get up in the leaderboard.
You have one more question.
So we're putting on cult XP, right? So is the like same point in the Dheeraj manifesto? So can you clarify that one?
So firstly, when Dheeraj was here, InstaSpace app was not created. Second thing, what my cult XP point tells is, every event you participate in culturals, we will take note down of it. The Sangam team will take note down of it. And then we'll daily update on the InstaSpace app, like whatever your XP is. For example, if you participate in any event, you'll get 5 points. If in any competitive events, if you place first, you'll get 11 points. If you participate in, if you win second place, 9 points. And if you win third place, it's 7 points. So it will be daily updated by Sangam team. And then all the events, all the next future literary events will be spaced there. And the total leaderboard consisting of the top rankers overall in ST with their names and the roll numbers and their XP will be mentioned. And I've taken feasibility from C5 WebOps. I think it's there. I think it's pretty much incentivizable for students to participate in cultural activities.
Now we'll move on to Akash. You can ask 3 questions and a total of 2 follow-ups.
Okay. Please read the last point under your sarang and read its objective. Last point under your sarang and read its objective also. Do you have your feasibility?
What is your question?
I want him to read his feasibility, his objective and last point of sarang.
Yeah, so what is the question?
After reading, I had a follow-up. Okay, fine. I'll go through the follow-up right now. So I went. It's not a follow-up. So I went through it thoroughly myself, which honestly feels like a waste of time, basically. But please explain what sort of innovative digital solutions or platforms you're talking about here. Like innovative tech, you told, right? What innovative tech are you bringing from that last point?
So my point is for organizing a case study for the core aspirants. So for core aspirants, like for one core, they are applying some 4 people. So I want to get the knowledge from the 4 guys, either tech-wise or any groundwork experience or anything. So if I get those problems clarified, so if I'm becoming the culture secretary, then it will be easy to solve those problems. So it will be easy to understand for any culture secretary.
Candidates, please ask questions, don't comment.
So a follow-up to that is the same question actually. I didn't get the follow-up to the question is the same question actually. What tech terms and innovative terms are you bringing to the table? Tech.
So like example like Bobs for tech terms like DevOps. So like I think like DevOps is lagging behind as a team people. Like if you see like the Sarang portal, merchandise portal is, now the December 5th it came, right? So but tech solutions is mainly because I'm focusing on DevOps actually. So that's why I'm putting the point for mainly focus on DevOps. So I need the people who wants to do these portals properly. So this is my follow.
So this question about your felicitation of contingent point, you have mentioned that you will give custom trophies to winners and significant contributors. But there's no mention of budgets involved. Are you like going to pay for it?
It's not about paying, just a felicitation for the Sarang contingent people. So to showcase the people who are the real winners and to the people actually. It's not about budget, it's normal felicitation for the contingent people. It's a normal felicitation for the people who are going for the inter-IIT and the festival or something. So just want to showcase their work and their skill. It's not about budget.
So his question is, where is the budget from?
It's not about it, just an event. We can do it from some Sangan budget or something. So like for contingent, right?
Follow-up. So I think you didn't understand properly. So I know it will come through Sangam budget because contingent also like it comes under Sangam. So let me know how much like at least approximate right now budget up for the trophies.
The particular event date is like we have Sangria, right? So I will do felicitation in that event. So it will be showcased to the people who are coming to Sangria.
I didn't find my answer there, but let me go on to the last question. Having thoroughly scrutinized your background, your bereft of credentials and have inviolable manifesto points, in light of this, how would you rationalize your candidacy for this esteemed position, Cultural Affairs Secretary Literary?
So for few aspects, but didn't to cover it by sufficient fund. So for sufficient fund is and I am mature to do the events and what are the things. So I can change. It's sufficient fund is I can do it. What are the things I can do? So basically, I am involving in some of the teams. Like when I have a chance to do with collab with FR or MNS team on Sarang or some. So I also collab with the events team in the Queen of Shiva. So I can intend to do and I also mature to do any changes if I am becoming the culture secretary in particular event or particular thing.
Okay, so the cross-questioning round is over. Now we'll move on to the Executive Council members, the sphere heads and cores. Before that, I want to specify that the Executive Council members and sphere heads in course have around 50 minutes to ask questions. So please ask your questions accordingly. Then we'll reserve around 15 minutes for the general student body to ask. Now if we have more time, we'll come back to you guys again.
Yeah, that's 5-0 or 1-5 for EC and
5-0.
5-0.
Totally, yeah.
Couple of clarifications I'll give to whatever discussions both of you had. So I'll start with Akash. Akash, you cannot do 300 events in Sarang because we have venue and time constraints, first thing. Even for the 100 plus events we are conducting right now, we do not have enough classrooms, we do not have enough halls, seminar halls like that. So 300 events is impossible. You should have taken feasibility from some actual event score or something. So that is the only thing. And Chakri, for Sangria, the medals that are bought, which is in the budget, is for Litsock winners and for the hostels. So if you actually wanted to have a figure of how much you'll use for your contingent felicitation, you could have seen the Sangam budget and got that thing. So yeah, that is the basic clarification. You want some answer?
Cool. Yeah, I'll start with Akash. Akash, you have this ethnic calendar point in your manifesto, right? So right now, like for any festival apart from Institute Ethnic Day, each of the samitis will conduct their own things. Let's say, if you see Vinayak Chauthi also, everyone do their own. And for Institute Ethnic Day alone, Gensec bring them all under one umbrella and tries to do. Last year, that's what happened. So this year, as you said, ethnic calendar, will you make all the summities do one event for each of the festival? If you think so, that will happen. I don't know how much that might happen because summities doesn't have to listen to you. And even in Institute Ethnic Day, apart from the budget, Gensec doesn't offer them anything. Do you plan to offer anything more for them to come under you, if you are planning so?
Okay, thank you, Sriraj. So first thing, I'll approach the Sabhasan Samitis, all the Sabhasan Samitis, and if they are okay, then only we'll collaborate. And I'm not bringing them in one basket because I've taken feasibility from all the Sabhasan Samitis and they're not okay with that. So what my plan of action is, I'll go to each and every Sabhasan Samitis. If they are okay, I'll collaborate with them. And for example, culinary arts, they can put up a shop or put up a workshop or events for the specific Sabha Samiti of their festival.
How many follow-ups? One follow-up. Okay. As you said, there would be collaboration. So you mean for the events which you might be doing along with them, where will the budget come from? Will you offer them any budget from yours also to conduct their own event?
So the budget will be coming from our Sangam budget only for the specific stall only and not the whole thing. Ours will be a specific part and the main ownership will be taken up by the Sabhas and Samitis only.
Yeah. So continuing, in your Sangam restructuring point, I understand your idea of having focus on both Sarang and Sangam at the same point of time from the start of the semester. But I think I have told you when you are checking with me as well, your main problem would be flexibility with your resources. Let's say at some point of time, you would need all your resources for Sangam event. At some point of time, you would need all your resources for Sarang event. By division like this, you can't ask your Sarang coordinators to work for Sangam event. You can't ask your Sangam coordinators to work for Sarang. When it is the same art form, that is the reason why we keep all of them under one club so that they can work for both Sangam and Sarang. Do you think division like this would do any good?
Okay. Firstly, my main objective was to create a divide between Sangam and Sarang because Sangam was mainly working for free for Sarang and Sarang was working free for Sangam. And the main objective was also about making contingent, like coming for the first position in intra-IIT cultural 7th version. And I think we can easily work on the split because we have 12,000 IITM students, qualified IITM students who can come for each PRs and work for each of them.
A couple of clarifications. Neither Sangam nor Sarang. Yeah, couple of clarifications. Neither Sangam nor Sarang work for free. We all work for free, obviously. We just want to promote the art form. So everybody do have interest to conducting events, be it as a overall in Sangam or be it in Sarang. One more point is, if you are saying it's a contingent focus thing, The only difference I am seeing right now is you are dividing the whatever costs you have in the club to Sarang. That's it. Because the contingent structure, I feel it's remaining same because you're having 2 Sangam heads previous to 3 event scores. You're having 1 club convener and 1 club captain convener, which we would obviously having already. We already have club captain for each contingent. And 1 vice captain, I think, could be an addition. But I don't think there is a massive increase to support contingent performance here. Yeah, that's
Hi Akash, hi Chakri. I have a couple of questions for both of you. I'll start off with Akash. Can you quickly tell me what are your expectations with Sarang Rewind?
Okay, Sarang Rewind. So, firstly, our Sarang media team will make tailored reels for those particular alums which we are focused on for that particular events like AGM, reunions, chapter meets. So, by that, we will evoke nostalgia for the alums. So by that, I've talked to you also about that. We can set up a stall there for combos. So that will increase our sales and that will evoke nostalgia for the alums, which would increase the footfall for Sarang also.
Okay, fine. Moving on to next
Do you want
question.
him to answer?
No, only to Akash. Next question to you also, Akash. How will you ensure that you actually bring funds to the cultural corpus that you have mentioned?
Okay, cultural corpus. So what my plan of action is, I'll create a corpus for culturals and then I'll talk to ACR team. They will reach out to the alums and our cultural outreach committee will also reach out strategically to the alums of specific clubs. Like example, I've talked to many of the ex-club conveners. They are happily willing to donate to our clubs. But the only problem was transparency, which will be avoided this time. So that's my main plan of action.
Fine. We'll move to you, Chakri. So I have one very simple question to you. Have you read your feasibility report? Have you read your feasibility report? So why do you think your point, Department Cultural Fest, requires a feasibility from IR Secretary?
So I am putting department wise, right? So I took the feasibility from the department association, which we have.
Can you open your feasibility report right now? You have mentioned that you have taken feasibility from IR.
Sorry. Actually, the type of mistake. I already mailed to the SCC people to change the feasibility report.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on to your next typo. What do you mean by cultural exchange student? What do you mean by cultural exchange student?
Actually, is the foreign exchange, foreign exchange students. So I want to put.
You understand cultural exchange students and foreign exchange students are 2 different students.
So the thing is like just putting for so we also changing cultures, right? So that's why I
Not really, Chakri. Cultural exchange students are those who come for a smaller program for a specific purpose and go back. Foreign exchange students are here. Foreign exchange here for 1 semester or 2 semester. Okay, moving on to your next question, talking about the same point. How is your plan different from International Day? Or do you know about International Day at first point?
So can you repeat?
I'm asking, how is your plan different from International Day? Or do you know about International Day at the first point?
You texted me in WhatsApp for International Day. So you given feasibility for putting in a cultural event for culture exchange.
Not really. I asked you to check with GE team to know about International Day because your point is exactly similar as International Day and it makes no sense to have a similar event.
So you told me we can put it in as International Day also with club with.
You haven't mentioned that in your feasibility report. It was a clarification. Okay. Moving on to your next question about podcast point. You have mentioned you can follow these steps. Are you instructing your voters to make this podcast?
Can you repeat it?
In your podcast point, you have mentioned you can follow these steps. Are you instructing your voters to make these videos?
I took feasibility from the media team, so they can do the.
In your feasibility report, if you can open that point, you have mentioned you can follow these steps, and you can follow this to ensure publicity and outreach. Who are you instructing this to?
Didn't listen properly actually. So just want to ensure if I am becoming a culture secretary, so just giving it's a feasibility report, we can write what are the feasibility, we can.
You have to mention your plan of action as well and explain your manifesto point, which I can see clearly lacking in most of your points. Okay. Now the next question. What do you think are the problems with the current LitSoc scenario? Problems with the current LitSoc scenario.
So the problem is, right, like when freshers are coming, right, they are going to Mandakini. Then when they are going second year, like they are going to Kaveri. So they are coming to parental hostel in third year actually. So they are busy with their internship and internship in third year, and then by fourth year they are busy with placements. So so that's why the LitSoc participation in the hostel bonding is very less.
This is a follow-up to the same question. Do you think making a web page will solve this issue?
No, I am giving the goodies, right? So then only it will sort out those things.
I don't think it's solving this issue. How can making a web page and giving goodies solve the issue of students being busy with interns and placement? This was a clarification. I'll pass it on to Aryav.
Yeah, hello. So my question is like Ujjwal said, there are problems in the LitSoc sphere, and you initiate a new thing that is the interdepartment thing, and here you have mentioned cultural secretaries from all the available departments. So what do you mean by this? And even if you are facing problems in LitSoc, how do you think interdepartment would work?
Actually, I told you, right, I mailed to the SEC people for the feasibility, but it's the department secretaries. So the thing is, like, I want to put an event in a weekend actually in the one of the event semester. Then only the final years will come and show their talent. So like just a weekend to showcase them their culture events from department wise.
Yeah, just for clarification, you send your change in the feasibility report after the deadline had gone. So as per the rules and regulations, I cannot change the feasibility report once the deadline is gone.
But he told he will change.
Yeah, so coming to another question to both of you, Chakri first is, Chakri, you have mentioned a lot of points you will be giving prizes in LitSoc and everything. So LitSoc will come under Sangam. So as a secretary, what will you have to do to get the budget for the Sangam? What would be the points, what would be the process you will follow?
So it should follow up in SLC.
Yeah, the full process.
So the 2/3 of a legislature should get they should approve the budget.
Yeah, Akash, you can answer.
Okay. Firstly, we'll propose the budget by your standing committee to SLC, to the speaker actually, and then we'll have a talk in SLC about the thing. We'll argue about that, like if we want to increase or decrease the budget. Third thing, if we get 2/3 majority, the bill will be passed.
Okay.
Yeah, Akash. A lot of your points have involvement of COC in them. In your Sangam restructuring, where does COC fall under?
So in my Sangam restructuring also, under Sangam heads, there will be all the clubs, COC also. Like under COC also, I'll have a different team. Like the current team is executive strategist, content strategist, and a new vertical under it, like outreach strategist, especially for the alums, and a new vertical for my cultural internships also, which will reach out to the internships of that. I'll expand the team basically.
Okay, wait. One clarification. I think, I don't know your structure for cultural internships, but this was there in previous Culsec manifestos. Are you aware of why they did not work or why they have failed in the past, and that's why we do not do it?
So firstly, I think they did not work. They did work. They reach out to the companies, but it did not work because we did not have a separate portal for it, which is open for all the students, which had transparency that our COC team is working or not. Second thing, I think they did not strategically approach the companies like how other placement teams or the ESL teams worked. So I think that's the reason.
The clarification is, cultural internships did not happen. If you see last year's Soapbox, my Soapbox, it was said that by Sriram that the dean did not allow it because when students are involved in this, and then these companies can scam you. That's why we do not do any cultural internships. That's why it has to be routed to the placement team, and only internships that go through that is actually allowed. So that is a clarification. Okay. Now, can you tell me, like, you were in COC as a content strategist. What work have you done as a content strategist so far, and why did not COC, like the COC's vision, whatever it is there, why it hasn't happened this year with you and the team?
Okay. Firstly, as a content strategist, all the contingent posters went through me. Second thing, all the Litsock calendar went through me. Third thing, I think the failure of this year, I think it's specifically this year because of some mishappening in our team. Should I mention them or?
No, it's
fine.
Okay. So, COC, as you mentioned, in the past 2 years or since its inception, people haven't been applying to the positions very clearly. There have been like lack of team members, and usually it just happens that there is somebody who is just good in design who just takes up the COC position. Since a lot of your points have like COC dependence on them, what are you going to do to ensure that people actually come and take up the COC positions and like make sure your manifesto points are actually done?
Firstly, I don't think people don't apply for COC. I have applied for COC because it, like we have it's like a sponsor and, I mean not sponsors PR team exactly, but the sponsor and PR team of Sangam. So it reaches, like it makes the outreach team. So it's not exactly sponsor and PR, I'm clarifying it again. But it's like an outreach team, which is very much fun to work in COC team. I would say that.
No, I mean like it's fun and everything, but people are not applying. So what are you going to do so that they apply next year?
So this year we had 3 content strategists and 8 to 9 coordinators. So that was like we put an app, we got an interview. It's not like forcefully like someone told me to put for app.
No, I just wanted to know that there have been challenges in the past. What are you going to do to prevent those challenges?
Okay. So firstly, my vision is to make COC better and bigger. Second thing is, by better and bigger, I mean the things which I mentioned, cultural internships, which is beneficial to all the Insti students. Second thing, reaching out alums, which I mentioned earlier. That's a very, it is bringing money for Sangam. Why would anyone not work for it? So, in my future vision, I feel COC will be more people will apply for COC.
See, this is a suggestion for both the candidates. Let's say if we ask a point, don't beat around the bush. If you don't know, say don't know. Don't say random points, okay? Yeah, with respect to Chakri, your first point, you had cultural summer school. From what I understood through feasibility, like you will have contingents teaching the GSB students in summers. And you plan to do it in online. You know that many of our art forms are actually learned through only offline. What are the art forms do you plan to conduct in online?
So, I took feasibility from the Oratory Club, Media Club, Fine Arts Club, and Classical Music and Word Game Club and Writing Club. So, they are ready to teach in online classes.
Yeah, I mean, you took the feasibility from those clubs. What are the art forms they are offering?
So for Media Club, they will teach what are the settings in the phone, like basic things only. So for Word Games Club, they will teach the Scrabble thing. So like classical music, if they are interested in like flute or guitar, based on their interest and flexibility, they will teach online classes.
See, you understand that all the art forms which you have tell, like photography or design and VFX or all those, most of them, we don't have enough participation even in our club events. If you take design and VFX, we don't get enough participation in our events and as well as our teams. So if you announce the course and if you don't have enough people to participate or listen to the classes, what is your approach would be?
So like, if I put in semester like the workshops and events, so there is semester going, Akash also going, right? So if you put it in summer holidays, it will be easy to, they can learn.
See, just clarification, no follow-up. For third years and fourth years, they would be busy with placements and internships. For first years, we already have NCA and LTAP. For second years, I'm not sure how many of them will be interested. That's just a clarification as the follow-up is over. So coming to your second point, I think you mentioned about Cult Chronicle. So this was there in the past 4 years cultural manifestos. Even in my manifesto, it is there. The problem would be every year design team aspire to do it, but as we go along the tenure, we would be having other important works. As you might be aware, this year we completed our merchandise in the month of November or December, when we ideally should complete in October or September. And at that point of time, as a cultural secretary, you also don't encourage them to work on magazine rather than on merchandise. So what would be your backup plan? Why it didn't work out till now?
1 minute before Chakri. Akash, you just extend this same question to your contingent newsletter also. After he finishes, you just explain like how we are going to do that as well.
So my ideation is to put a cult chronicle for the overall cultures that relate to the industry. So I will insert that to the media team by do step-wise of what are the events like putting theme reel and anything. So they will ideate by month. So insert the by supercards or coordinators by ideate by month.
So in contingent newsletter, what I meant was all the behind the screens what contingent team has and what the contingent team wants to say us. That's what will be in the contingent newsletter. So the team which will be working on this will be contingent team, the contingent media team, media contingent and media writing contingent, etc. So they are ready to work for it.
See, we know which teams would be working on chronicles or magazines. We know that the problem would be with respect to your resources. And every year, if you ask me, this year is the one of the best MAD teams here. You can check with this media core as well. But the problem would be just with the constraints which we will have with other works. If you just say, I will take better team, I'll ask them to work from start itself, I'll motivate them, that's just a beat the bush answers. You need to have some plan to make it work. Yeah.
I mean, do both of you have anything different that, Akash, Chakri, like do both of you have anything different other than just saying that I'll have the MAT team work from start or writing club or media club? Anything new that you're proposing? You can say no if you don't have it, but do you have anything in mind?
So basically, currently you told the MAT team and the teams will be working on this. So my plan was to make contingent work for it because they have the first-hand experience to tell them. And the media contingent team will have all the videos and etc. So contingent can, like, they have given me feasibility.
For Cult Chronicle, like also take feasibility from the student relation team. So I will add. So this is my adding point for the Cult Chronicle.
One question. Yeah, this question is to Akash. You have mentioned PG contingent immersion program. From what I understood in the feasibility, you would be involving your contingents to help with the PG events. I mean, this is a point which we are going to do this year as well in the Research Scholars Day, which is coming up in the next week. We have involved our contingents. If you can check with Ishan or Sri Lakshmi. So I don't think this is a new point you could be doing. And also, this kind of point we would be doing irrespective of whether you mention it or not. Any spheres, whenever they seek help or we want to collaborate, these kind of things we generally do.
Sriraj, is it a question or a clarification?
It's a clarification.
Okay. Last year there was a proposal to club both Culsec Lit and Culsec Arts. So what are your views on it? Anyone can pick first.
So proposal to make one cultural affairs secretary, right? So I think culturals is a very wide.
1 second. Before you answer, on your Sangam restructuring will exactly align with having one cultural secretary because you are already having separate Sarang heads and Sangam heads. The reasoning which cultural secretaries partly give is we have common event scores, and the solution which generally people propose is have a separate Sarang head and as well as Sangam head. That is something which you already proposed in Sangam restructuring as well, similar to. So probably you should be encouraging one cultural secretary. I'm not sure. You can give your answer.
Actually, no, because I think we need to have two cultural affairs secretary because culturals is a very wide sphere, which I feel, because more INSTI students want to come into culturals. Second thing, after Sangam restructuring, there will be a specific division in between lit and art sphere, lit and art positions. That's what I feel.
So what I feel the team we have from the contingents are Sarang side and Litsock side. So we should have two representatives from the student representatives. Then only we can manage what I feel.
I think one of you told like you would be having separate duties for Litsec and literary secretary and art secretary, Akash. Okay, how do you think we can divide the duties?
So currently there's no like specifically mentioned in there's nothing specifically mentioned in the student constitution about the differences in lit and art. There's only mentioned the literary aspect of cultures will be managed by literary secretary and arts will be managed by arts. So I want to amend it. So after making
I mean, what kind of duties do you think we can divide? Because I can't have a hospitality team and Jyotir can't have a pro shows team and have completely different duties among us.
So basically from 2 years what the GSB have seen is lit is being handled by lit handles the Sarang part of culturals and arts handles the Sangam part of the culturals. That's what the general student body assumes. So I want to make it like more specific about what each other's duties are in the sphere.
Okay, follow-up is why did you choose lit over arts for both of you again?
Okay, so personally I was mostly into lit because I was a literary secretary. Second thing, I was a production coordinator. Third thing, I am the content strategist from Cultural Outreach Committee. So I've seen like literary aspect of culturals more than the art aspect of the culturals. That's why I want to put for Cultural Affairs Secretary literary.
Yeah, you can also answer.
So my thing is like I was the part of Sarang from 2 years. So that's why I applied for the literary position.
Okay, so there will always be a lack of accommodation during Sarang because there will be a lot of visitors attending from outside. So whom do you prefer in IITM students and visitors? How do you collaborate with HAS to solve this? HAS in the sense Hostel Affairs Secretary, yeah.
Who is this question to? Both of you.
So firstly, regarding collaboration with HAS, during Sarang, I think we have collaboration with you because of the for the accommodation part of it. We reach out to CCW and reach out to that for the hostels. So I would prefer IITM students over the. I mean, I do not reach out to you directly. I reach out to CCW directly. Second part, I would prefer IITM students over the crowd because we do not know who are the crowd and what kind of things they, what kind of background they come from.
So the first thing like as is how we related with the student regional team that take care of this accommodation. So my preference for the thing is the IITM students and also the people who are coming from outside. Then only we got the respect from the outside also. So make sure like what are the rooms before we have IITM students. Like I'll give to those guys only. What are the left we will give to the outsiders to make sure that we should have respect to the people outside also. Then only they'll come to the next Sarang.
Yeah, so my question is to Chakri. Your inter-IT section has only points like Instagram, trophy, cabinet and all this. So as a secretary, how do you think you can collaborate with administration and other people to make the actual inter-IT hassle-free for the students? Like all this is after inter-IT and everything. How can you impact inter-IT with your work?
Can you repeat it once?
Yeah, so your inter-IT and contingent section has points like making Instagram better, trophy cabinet and all this. But how actually you can work as a secretary with administration to make that inter-IT feel better?
So the secretaries are the one who works with the admin, right?
Yes.
So that's why my manifesto is filling with the admin section.
Like I'm
Basically,
asking.
we are the student representative from the admin side.
No, you are student representative from the student side to the admin.
Student side also we work works with also with admin, right?
Yeah, so this Instagram, trophy, all this is student side. As with administration and all, how you will work to make inter-IT, the thing, the contingent that goes, how to make it better.
So it's our responsibility as a cultural secretary. If I'm making the cultural secretary, so we have to do it right for the people.
How? How you will make it better?
So, if anything, so I will showcase the, like, first thing is the people should understand the importance of the contingent. So that's why I'm putting the Instagram page and the traffic cabinet. Then only we will do what, like, we understand. So from administrator, they can understand. So these are the main points we have to do for them.
Hi again, Chakri. One question. I want to know your plan about Heritage Tour and whom have you taken feasibility from?
I took feasibility from the Heritage Club.
Answer the first question first. What is your plan about Heritage Tour?
So like who are coming from outsiders to Sarang, so I have to show them the IIT and what are the flu areas. So I have to roam around people who are coming from outsiders.
You are assigning them buddies to take around Sarang.
Yes,
Sarang.
Yes.
Hi Chakri and Akash. So my first question is for both of you. So collaborations between the sports sphere and cultural sphere is, there are a few events like Speak Olympics and sports quizzes which happen on a small scale. So do you think that these can be expanded and done better?
So when I was taking feasibility from you, you were also mentioning about the cultural. When I had a cultural camp idea, you were mentioning about like we can have a morning session with the contingent team also. I think those kind of aspects with contingent we can have during my tenure. I will try to ensure that it will not be a fixed compulsion for contingent team to work with that. Second thing, I think sports. I think everyone needs to be fit and need to at least make some kind of like general work, not only based for culturals but for contingent also. Like I think I answered your question.
So when I met you, like you told, we can collab with the sports fest. So like where contingent people can come and participate, and also we can publicize the Sarang also. So this is the one where we can collab.
Okay. So my second question is to Akash. Akash, in your manifesto, you mentioned that you will have 2 Sangam heads and 2 Sarang heads. So this year, a single event score was able to handle everything, all of these duties. So don't you think this is going to be a waste of manpower if like one person can handle this?
So I don't think it will be a waste of manpower. Last year also we had like 3 event scores and it was a very good event. And this year also we had 1 event score. It was a very good event, but it was very much tiring for Keshav, who was the event score that time. So I think we should not overwork anyone in Sarang teams. So to avoid overworking, we need to split the work amongst 2, not the Sarang event score and 2 Sangam heads. There's no Sarang heads in my restructure.
Okay, I have a follow-up. So in a hypothetical scenario, how would you prevent anyone in your sphere to resign, and if someone resigns, how would you react to it?
Oh, okay. Firstly, one of my point is Sarang Premier League, which involves like team bonding, which increases the team bonding, which avoids like people to resign. I mean, if they have any particular, any other reasons to resign, I would accept that. I would accept that, and my first approach is like to send out more like apps for the GSB to put out, and then if I can see like it also happened for DevOps team, the QMS manager will take up the core work for till the meantime.
Okay, my question to Chakri. So you've been part of SNS team. So there are talks that this year OAT might be renovated. So in that case, without OAT, what's your plan for Sarang Pro shows?
So I spoke with those. What he told, like we can put events like so I spoke with those. So he told we can put the events like so for first day 4, like up to day 4 we can put in SAC, up to day 3 we can put in SAC. So it is not feasible also, but he told like that one. So also from the entry point of view, it is feasible from entry point of view. So we have entries also where we can allow the people. So also like he told like KV is not flexible because of the deers right there. So that's what like he told. And also he told like it will be there OIT. OIT will there this time because they are to constructing this NRI hostel and also building one mess against like opposite to the Mandakini hostel.
See, as the situational question of being OIT not available or something like that already came up, I want both of you to answer to a situation where we won't have OIT if EU takes further innovation. And let's say on the eve of day 3, you have a heavy rain forecast and you can't change your artist, obviously, as you guys are aware. And we have to cancel because we can't have roofing for the whole OIT. So what would be your plan?
So firstly, I think we had a similar situation this year, and I managed it properly by like awareing you guys by getting a rooftop system for the truss. So that would, if there's a very huge rain, we can shift the venue to SAC, or firstly we'll refund the money which we got, because that's unethical to shift the venue to SAC, which is very small, and. I think I basically answered the answer.
Yeah, you can answer.
Like what he told with Aditya Vikram, so same thing we can shift it to SAC, and also we have to return the money, right? So
yeah, for both of you, from what Akash said, the roof only will work if it is a slight drizzle. Then only we can only do it, and also it incurs us huge loss because the roof generally takes around 8 to 10 lakhs, as you guys have aware. And if you are shifting it to SAC, obviously you have to refund, but still have to pay to artist. How will you incur such a loss of 30 to 40 lakhs? How will you cover it? Do you have any more plans to get money after Sarang?
So like I'll ask those first for the damage thing and what, and like, so what are the initiatives he can tell, like, then we can do that one.
Firstly, it's very improbable event to rain heavily in January. That's why we set up during the Pongal season. Second thing, I think if that happens, it is like we need to accept the loss for that year, and we can get the money through any other sponsors.
Before Sarang itself, we are struggling to get to the sponsor level, which we intend to, and I don't know if after Sarang you would be able to get. But yeah, coming to Akash, your point of power play. So you intend to have an events in the first week of September, and if people perform well, you will multiply their points in the next week. So the problem right now we have in Litsock is people will be entry at the start, generally, in the first few months. And a few of the hostels perform well in the few months, and they will be having huge points gap. And that's why remaining all, except for 5 hostels, will be losing interest. This will just make it a more difference between the top 5 hostels after first week, and will make sure the other 15 hostels or 16 hostels doesn't even intend to participate.
After this question, we'll move on to the sphere heads and course, if possible.
Okay, so let's talk power play. In that point, in phase 1, what I've seen is after the Queen of Sheba, the participation dip is very less. So that's where I want to increase that's where I want to include the phase 1 part of Let's Talk Power Play, where if you participate more and if you win any of the positions, you'll have a 1.5x in second point. So also I'm also going to replicate this in even sem also. So when people know that this is happening in odd sem, people will surely participate in even sem and benefit with the special bonus points.
See, the problem why so many hostels are not winning but only 5 hostels are winning is there is a fluctuation of resources itself. Let's say if you take Shara or Badra, they'll have all the years of girls, and generally that's the reason why they perform well. That you can't change by incentivizing them more also. Rather, you should think of a method where you will be helping the people who will have less points after first events. I mean, you understood my point, right? Because everybody will have enthu irrespective of how many points you put at the start. By making the winners who will be winning in the first events, by incentivizing them more, they will only have better points and will have a huge gap with the hostels which is under. You should think of better plan to make more hostels.
My question is to Chakri. Hi Chakri, I'm Shreya Rajesh, the current Pro Show score. As an aspiring literary cultural affairs secretary, you haven't come to Pro Shows for fun days or feasibility. So with the sufficient fundings that you have, tell me what your plan of action is if Shastra uses the same BMS deal again that Sarang has procured.
So it is a third party actually. It is third party book my show.
Yes,
So we
BMS
also-
stands for Book My Show.
So we also have sales portal, right?
Yes.
So like if I'm becoming the culture secretary, I will spoke with the who are the co-cast and you can sort out the thing for the respective like why should we go for the different third party or
That
something.
has already happened and this did not solve the issue. There is only one stack and we'll use the same PAN card. So what is your plan of action? Because we spent months negotiating a deal for Book My Show. How are you as a cultural affairs secretary going to allow exclusivity for Book My Show with Sarang?
Once can you repeat it, please?
As a cultural secretary, what are you going to do so that only we have BMS or there's no later on issues where we have to split the money with Shastra?
Okay. So either we can go for Paytm also.
We don't go with Paytm for a particular reason. Do you know why?
Don't know.
Also, you didn't take feasibility from us for moving OAT to SAC, even if you spoke to Dost about it.
So,
Pro shows can't be moved to SAC.
So like first what those told is OIT will be there this time because they have the other plans to like for NRA hostel and also they are planning to build the one mess opposite to the Mandakini hostel.
Got it, bro.
So that's the thing.
Meenakshi, just to clarify, one question, one follow-up, right? Okay, my question is to Sai Chakri. Very general question firstly. What angle do you think kind deals have in elevating the experience that we provide to participants at Sarang?
The kind deals are like you told right like they can give the products to us and we can go to the people actually.
Right, so my question regarding that was, how does this help in Sarang, with Sarang?
So the product like we can sell, we can give to the people like then that is the publicity for the from.
Right, so we're giving people free products essentially. And this is in tandem with your point regarding Sarang tokens. So your point regarding Sarang tokens talks about giving people vouchers and coupons to avail at food stalls. And this is a monetary cost that we will incur from our side to ensure that participants have a good experience at Sarang. Am I right? Okay. So considering that, when we already have a kind deal system in place, you could have proposed expanding its scope, but instead you proposed an initiative that cuts directly into Sarang's budget. Why and how?
For Sarang tokens, we have 12 lakhs of budget for 5 days for the event winners and workshop winners. So the watcher thing is like Amazon watchers, not the spons thing.
But here so are you cutting it out of?
And also like watcher and coupons are like food coupons actually I'm telling. So,
I understand. So are you cutting food coupons that core team and cords get and then giving it to participants?
So the food coupons is actually, so we have 12 lakhs of budget for the winners of the events and workshops.
So are you not giving winners any cash prize and you're only giving them food coupons?
Like actually I'm giving money, but the money transaction will be done by after 3 months or 4 months.
Regardless of whether it's done after 3 months or 4 months, you will still end up giving them that money, right? So where is this additional money coming from that you're giving as coupons?
That's a question, right?
That's the last question, yeah.
So we have 12 lakhs, right? So the thing is like I will give the food coupons or the Sarang t-shirts or whatever the thing. So I can reduce some in between the 12 lakhs or if we got the flexible money from the spons team. So then we can give we can't reduce the 12 lakhs and we can give the goodies to the people.
So will you be cutting prize money? Yes or no? Just yes or no?
Okay. I will give the prize money also like with additional I will give the immediate goodies.
Cutting, not giving. Cutting. Will you be reducing prize money?
So based on flexibility, if we get the money, sufficient money from the spons team, then we can reduce or we can give the 12 lakhs price only.
Hi, question to both of you guys. So given that neither of you have ever been in any contingent or have gone to an offline inter-IIT, what plans do you have for improving the quality of performance of contingents and not just doing nice stuff and taking photos? I'd also appreciate if you could clarify has IIT Madras stood and what your plan is for next year. And I'd appreciate if Sai Chakri answered first because Akash might have an unfair advantage. He's been doing contingent outreach as a part of COC, so I'd prefer if Chakri answered first.
So for contingenting, okay, like the thing is I'm not part of the contingent team. So that's why like I'm putting the felicitation, what are the things like I have given the manifesto.
My question was, how are you going to improve the quality?
So quality, so I am putting
things.
the culture summer school, right? So if they want to teach the people, so they can learn themselves first and they can teach.
Right.
And also putting the culture meetups near the Chennai colleges.
Right. With respect to your summer school, when we had spoken last, you had talked about how it's for GSB members who are just enthusiastic about learning, right? It does not benefit it does not improve the talent that the contingent members themselves have, considering they are the ones teaching. So that does not really improve inter-IIT contingent performance.
Culture meetups, right? Culture meetups. I put one of the manifesto point.
Also, I had asked you to clarify where IIT Madras placed in inter-IIT culturals over the last 4 years. Could you just tell those?
For this year, this is the 6th place.
Okay, I asked for the last because we need to benchmark, right? We need to see if we're improving.
This year, I only know this year only.
So, hi Ishan. So, firstly, I would say my Sangam restructuring point would mainly focus on contingent and make IIT Madras to come first on inter-IIT contingent, inter-IIT cultural 7th edition. So, for that, how I'll take professional help. Currently, some clubs are having professional help like Choreo Club. Like Fine Arts Club are not having professional help. I'll cater to them. And third thing, coming to your last point, like what are the 4 positions for, like what are the positions of IIT Madras in last 4? So this year at IIT Kharagpur, we stood at 6th position. Last year at IIT Madras, we cracked a top 3 position. Before that, I feel we were in 6th position again. And before that, it was online, so 16th position. Am I right?
Yeah. One follow-up, because, Sai Chakri, you had mentioned that you would be organizing the cultural meetups, right? And how this is going to improve contingent quality. And you also mentioned you would be felicitating them outside of inter-IIT wins. Are you going to be cutting budget from contingent going to fest to be able to provide them this stuff? Are you going to be cutting contingent budget to give people these priorities for the contingent? Are you going to take away the money they get to go to fest to give them medals and prizes?
So like for budgeting, like for culture meetups, we should have budget actually. So to meet the people of outside colleges, for the budget, like for going to the inter-IIT or the fest number, like the budget I don't know. The number exactly I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, before going to JSB, I think we have 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just ask a common situational questions or problems you might face in your tenure. Both of you can answer. First one is, given that we are having more and more differences with Shastra with respect to the events, like they are conducting a few cultural events, we are going into a few tech events, and there is a plan from admin side to have a common fest between Shastra and Sarang. How do you tackle it? And also you can't resolve not having any common events because every year it happens, but still there would be differences.
Especially for the technical events, like also like EDM night for the Shastra. So I'll talk to the co-cast who will be the next year, and also with those and we have a common chart to the particular events only for the cultures and the tech thing.
So I think we should not have one big fest with technical and culturals. That would not serve the purpose of cultural fest as Sarang and technical fest as Shastra. Also, like you told, like there's combined events like technical fest, like we make EDM night, they also make EDM night. So we already had a clause that Shastra should not contact our agency. But this year they failed to follow that clause. And I think me as a cultural affairs secretary would avoid that in future by having like stricter policies with that.
See, this year we formulated the clauses before they contacted the agencies, but still they found some loopholes. And as a cultural secretary and a co-curricular secretary as Nitin, we were always in touch, even outside of office hours, but still it happened through team members because they were saying there are some loopholes through which they contacted. And at the end, both Dost and co-cad and Kallad won't give any answers. They'll ask you to resolve between yourself.
Clarification, right?
Like, I want them to answer for that situation.
Okay. I don't think it was a loophole in our the draft because they clearly violated our rules. They followed our agency. They contacted our agency, which is not right. I think we should have fought again with them and not settle up with the 15 lakh technical workshops.
So we should, first thing we should clarify with the co-case actually. So don't do the events like which are in common. Then only we can go ahead.
See, as I said, the co-cast Kalsek, however good relation they will have, team members still try to do something and then inform the co-cast or respective Kalsek. And with whatever point you told, once they cross the point, we try to do similar thing like going into tech workshops. That's what exactly happened this year. If it is going into such way, we will be having more and more tech events and they will be having more and more cultural events. And admin would be like, at some point of time, just combine both the fish. That would be the risk. You guys have to come up with how do you avoid that risk. One more question is, so there is a plan, because there won't be students on campus in the month of January and also there are few famous Telugu festivals at the time, Sankranti and all. There is a plan to move Shastra to October. It used to happen like that previously, before 5-6 years, and Sarang to March. What do you think of that plan?
So for admin perspective, like they are not willing to put in a semester actually. So that
no, but I told the points which we would be having also. We would be having all the students in campus if a Shastra and Sarang gets conducted in October and March, and you won't have any problems like these festivals. That's why you don't have student participation. And you won't have problems with the differences because both are happening 6 months apart. So what do you think about that plan?
like the thing like we can do like for 6 months apart is like it is a good thing because there is no clash between the sponsor like anything like so it is good only, but admin perspective the acads are the important. So that's why we are doing in the holidays actually.
So you don't want to do in October and March?
Yes.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to do at October or March because pro shows will be calling artists, right? So during September we have rock release, during October we are having EDM release, during November we are having pop release, and if we want to do anything Sarang during these things, I don't think it makes sense because artists will not be selected at that.
No, but if we do in March?
March, I don't think it's feasible because it will be very late in the semester.
But then you can have your releases like that, like in November, January and February.
You want to put it in March because...
if you want to do it in March, you can even shift your reveals accordingly, I'm saying.
In March, I wouldn't want to do because people will be preparing for the next 10 year. And during March, we have elections.
Cool. One last situational question for both of you. Given that we are at a stage of saturation with respect to at least pro shows, because right now our sponsors from outside is getting depleted because they also have so many other ventures than college fest, and even we don't have a capacity increase from OIT. It's a 5,000, 6,000 from so many years. How do you plan on scaling up Sarang, or do you gonna do exactly same like what we are having for the past 2-3 years?
So I don't think Sarang is only of pro shows. Even events team is there, in which we can get money. So pro shows during Sarang 2025, I think we have OAT, which the scaling up cannot be done. Only through events we can scale up the Sarang, and events like Mirake, etc. In Sarang 2026, we can scale up because OAT will be demolished at that time, and we can go to. There will be no other space other than KV for that time. And at KV, we can occupy more than 8,000, around 8,000 to 10,000, which will increase our sales.
To increase the scale of Sarang, first thing is the artist actually. So if you have the popular artist, the participation will be more. And also we have to push the Sarang ambassadors. Then only the participation in the scale-up will be good.
Okay, just clarifications from both of you. You can't conduct in KV because of a Prakriti issue. They are not allowing us to occupy full KV for the same issue. And we every time try to get better artists, but the problem would be if you want Anirudh to come, it costs you 1 crore. Where will you get that 1 crore? That's the problem. Yeah.
Now we'll move on to the rest of the students. If any of the GSP members have any questions, you can ask. Please don't make comments. Please ask questions. Can you? You
Hi.
can sit. You can sit.
Yeah. Hi, my question is to Sai Chakri. Hi, Chakri. Having not been involved in the Sangam sphere at all, having not been a literary secretary,
Ask the question.
how do I trust you with being the Cultural Affairs Secretary of IIT Madras?
Okay, it's a repeating question, and we can move on to the next person.
Okay, I would expect my Cultural Affairs Secretary to have ambitious points, but having mere points like installing trophy cabinets, launching a web page, again, what ambition, what vision do you have for the cultural sphere with having mere points like these in your manifesto? Sure, I'll repeat. I'm saying, as a Cultural Affairs Secretary, one needs to be ambitious, right? If you read your manifesto, while even I was thoroughly scrutinizing your manifesto, the only points you've written are installing trophy cabinets or giving free goodies or having web pages. How are these Culsec level points?
See, so as a culture secretary, I also represent the people for my sphere, right? So the felicitation and the trophy cabinets will be the proper thing for the contingent people to show their respect actually. So for Litsock webpage actually, so over the Litsock event winners, I have to put their photos in the Litsock webpage, so they can show them to family or friends, and they can put it as a resume point also. So that will help to the people, GSP actually.
So this anyone can do. Where's your ambition? I'm saying.
Next question. Next question. Okay.
So my question is for Akash. Basically, your point of cultural corpus is to get alumni funding for culturals, and you intend to use the Joy of Giving portal. But I don't know if you know or not, but Sarang is already on the Joy of Giving portal, and this year we have just gained 25,000 rupees. You think that kind of money is significant enough to consider?
Okay, firstly, it's contingent corpus. It's under my contingent team, contingent section. Okay, yeah. To boost our contingent, to help our contingent and club activities. The second thing, there was no specific team allocated for this corpus to strategically reach out to the alums. So this time I'm making a separate vertical under the Cultural Outreach Committee to reach out to specific alums who are really interested to fund our clubs. So I talked to ex-conveners also, like the alums, not the one in Insti. They were very much happy to give us.
Hi Chakri, this question is to you. To clarify, I'm the Fine Arts contingent captain this year. Since your feasibility is extremely unclear, can you clarify how you want to hold this summer camp? And regardless of how you decide to hold it, tell me one good reason why I should ask my contingent members to work for you for 3 weeks during summer, when everybody is involved with interns and everything.
So what are the clubs that took feasibility? So they are willing to teach the classes. So based on the
I am the contingent captain for Fine Arts this year, and you did not come to me for feasibility.
So
I have never talked to you before. You've not come to me before feasibility. You talked to my co-captain who asked me. Yeah.
You don't have a follow-up or clarification. He'll answer your question and we'll move on to the next person.
So I spoke with the fine arts and design like contingent captain.
I am the fine arts and design
I spoke with
contingent captain.
another girl actually.
You need to speak to both of them.
Can we move on to the next person?
Hi Akash, you've mentioned a point in your feasibility report, ethnic calendar. So you've written that at the start of the event semester, all Sangam clubs and Sabha Samitis will come together and initiate the creation of ethnic calendar for the upcoming 2 semesters. So are you dictating the work of your next Cultural Affairs Secretary? And where did you get the feasibility from? Cultural Affairs Secretary 2025 to 26.
So at the start of event semester, I will be the Cultural Affairs Secretary at that time. I mean, now I may be the aspiring Cultural Affairs Secretary. If I become a Cultural Affairs Secretary, even in the event semester, I'll be the Cultural Affairs Secretary. So I'm not dictating the next secretary. So I think I clear your point.
Next question. Okay. Next question.
Hi Akash, this question is for you. Apart from the fact that a lot of points mentioned about BMS deal are not true, that Shastra got its own BMS deal. Apart from that, your own team, which you had mentioned that had not had done their clause properly, I'm holding the same clause which the Process team has sent. If you take a look at it, it's a clause that you can clearly see that it has been made in under 5 minutes. So what is your take on how do you ensure these clauses are more stricter and more clearer, even from the team which is specifying it? Because this clause has been made within 5 minutes. I can clearly see what's wrong with this clause.
Firstly, I mentioned about the artist, reaching out to the artist wala clause, that you guys have reached out to our NCM, artist management, and you got the Shastra got the tech. Bro, you guys paid 15 tech workshops, bro. You can't deny it now.
I'm speaking about the clause which has been made in under 5 minutes.
Next question.
The question
please.
to you is
Please
how will
sit
you
down,
make sure
please
the
sit
clause
down.
is more stricter?
Please be seated. Please be seated. Please be seated. We can move on to the next question. We can move on to the next question. Okay, if you have do any of you have any questions? Okay, so I think we can wind up then. Do you have any questions? Okay, one last question. We'll take one last question. This will be the last question.
Okay, so I was the EDM night coordinator this year, and I have whatever he said, that's completely wrong. They reached out to our artists, and I have proof of that as well, if you guys want to see. Okay, so my question is for Sai Chakri. So this year, there were a lot of SFX that we got for EDM night, and it was a very good experience for the entire the show experience. So what do you have to say about the entire the safety aspect of it, since you were an SNS called super called?
So my perspective is everyone's perspective is safety first and sarang next actually. So safety first and sarang next is my perspective. So answering to your question, my thing is I think you didn't got my point. What I am telling is that safety first and sarang next actually.
Sriraj.
Yeah, this is the last question of the soapbox. Let's say you face a similar issue which we occurred in the tenure of Sriram, where our budget couldn't pass till the time of November. How do you plan to conduct your events if your budget is not getting passed in any SLC? Like let's say your first SLC is it's not getting passed, SLC 2 is not getting passed. What's your plan?
It's just to both of them.
So firstly, if we don't get budget passed till November, what I would do, my first plan of action would be talk to the dean students, because we've already signed MOUs of all the artist fee and all regarding the first installment, because okay.
This is about Sangam budget, because in SLC we only take Sangam budget here.
So regarding Sangam also, I would, so after my Sangam restructuring point, what I would want to do is, firstly I would no offense to anyone else, but I would properly pitch to the SLC regarding my requirements and my requirements about Sangam teams. And if by then also, if they do not give us our proper requirements, our cultural outreach committee team will also help us in, this year we got HP sponsor for gaming club. I would try something like that.
So I'll pitch with SLC thing, and also those then, if they allow, I'll go to Stag and get the money for the events.
See, you can't bypass SL3 by Dost or Color. That is the same issue which we faced in the Sriram tenure. You can't go to Dost or Color and get it bypassed by SLC. You need to get it passed in SLC to use it.
Last clarification. Just one
Clarification
thing.
or question?
Just last clarification.
Okay.
So in Shriram's year, the budgets were passed bucket-wise. So that is something that you can do. Try to pitch to SLC that you pass Litsoc, CLS, something like that.
So we're wrapping up the Soapbox for the post of Cultural Affairs Secretary Literary. Thank you for everyone. Yes, so thank you guys.